Hello guys, welcome to the first video on my second channel. Today's video is going to be about Dandy's World. Now, on my main channel, I already made a video about Dandy's World, and the title said Dandy's World sucked. I think it did. I'm sorry. I've gotten a lot of arguments in the comments about how if you don't like Dandy's World, I don't like you. Well, that's your opinion. But Dandy's World, in my opinion, is very mid. Here's some reasons why it's mid. Number one, I want to talk about its popularity. Dandy's World has basically taken Roblox by storm. Dandy's World is has just randomly popped up, and as soon as it popped up, it was like, boom, player spawned. I don't know. It was just like, the game immediately gained traction, and when it did gain traction, a bunch of players started playing, and if players start playing the game, YouTubers are going to start playing the game, and the game is going to get incredibly popular, and it's going to get masses of players, which means there's going to be different communities in the game. That's a problem I'll get into later, maybe. But there's one thing I want to say. Dandy's World is only popular because of YouTube, and I'm gonna say this because of one thing. The fan base of Dandy's World is like 5 years old, right? Like, they're 5-year-olds. They just play Dandy's World because they're scared of any other game. Like, just play the Minute or something. But let's dive into YouTube for a second. YouTube is like a place for everything, and if you go into like the most popular videos, there's a chance if you scroll down just a bit, you're going to see like a content farm as one of the most popular videos on YouTube. And like the most trending video like at the time. That's because people who watch YouTube are mostly like kids, like me. Like, they're very young people. But they watch content farms like Game Tunes, right? Game Tunes is a very big content farm, and what they do is they take ideas from very popular games and they use it in their content farms to gain views. And what they do is make some sort of like thing, cause like Game Tunes, they do Wenda and Gray. If you know, you know. But I don't want to get into detail about that. It's just Game Tunes is very weird, and Game Tunes does like Sprunky videos, right? Sprunky reminds me a lot of Dandy's World, because Dandy's World is like little cartoony characters that turn horror, kind of like Sprunky. And since kids watch Sprunky on YouTube, they're going to go to Roblox and they're going to scroll on their For You page until they see something that is Sprunky, basically. And what kids do these days, they ignore things with they ignore games with no players. Like, if it has 2 players, they're not going to play the game. Like, they play games that are 100k players plus. So they're going to find the most popular game that looks like Sprunky, and what are they going to find? Dandy's World. Now, Dandy's World isn't exactly like Sprunky, but it still has a lot of similarities to Sprunky that kids are probably going to like it if they like Sprunky. So kids are going to go in the game, and then they're going to get addicted to the game because it looks a lot like Sprunky. And yes, Dandy's World has content farms too. It's just a very weird thing to do at this point. But anyway, let's dive into some other things that Dandy's World has some problems Dandy's World has. One problem is that this was pretty recent. There was a developer that got fired, right? And the reason he got fired was because he was kind of like, Dr. Disrespect, or like EDP445. I think you all know what they do. Like Koofy and Pottimer. It's kind of like that, right? And he got fired. There's already a ton of videos on that if you really want to see what really happened. But he just got fired for that, and a bunch of people are starting to hate on Dandy's World for that. I'm not necessarily hating on Danny's World for that reason. I think it's just in the past, and it's like, just forget about it at this point. But yeah, that's just a little small thing I wanted to talk about. And I just want to say, this is, from now on, it's basically just going to be my opinion of stuff, okay? So, number one, I don't like how this game is set up. Like, this game is set up kind of like, I don't know. It's a mix of Doors, Sprunky, and Rainbow Friends. That's basically what this game is. So basically, you go through floors, right? You go through floors while avoiding monsters and hiding and doing like tasks and collecting stuff, right? And the monsters kind of like use the same AI as Rainbow Friends monsters, right? If they see you in their radius, they'll chase you down until you lose them. Which in this game is basically the exact same difficulty as losing Rainbow Friends monsters. And this game was technically aimed for kids, right? This game is a kids horror game. Doors is technically a kids horror game too. I mean, it's my opinion that it is a kids horror game. Some people may say it's too scary for kids or something. Doors is not scary in my opinion. I think it's just a fun game to play, and it's just fun. I think it's a survival game, not a horror game. I think it is a survival game actually. But yeah, Doors is basically supposed to be a horror game meant for kids. And it succeeded. It succeeded in being like a horror game meant for kids. Not too scary, not too unscary. Dandy's World, on the other hand, completely decided to make it unscary. Like, there's no elements of scary in Dandy's World. It's just random, like, monsters chasing you. Like, it's kind of how Rainbow Friends failed on making a kids horror game. It's basically the same category as Rainbow Friends. They're both not scary in any way possible. Like, the only way you could ever get scared is if you have your volume all the way up and you hear the loud noise when a twisted, they're called, finds you. Like, that loud noise, it can deafen you, and it can kind of make you flinch, but it's not even scary in that way. It's not even considered scary. But yeah, another problem that I have is that this game never gives you any background information on the characters. As soon as you join the game, you just jump straight into the plot. You spawn in as a random character and you go into the elevators. Kind of like how Doors, but at least Doors managed to hide some little Easter eggs in their lobby. Dandy's World is just immediately you join the game, a loading screen pops up, and when the loading screen's done, boom, you're in the elevator room, and you just, like, you don't know anything about the game, you just join the elevator with random kids. And the chat is all, like, toxic, they all say, like, do you know the kids that say ABC for long run, ABC for this, ABC that? It's kind of, most of those are pros, right? If they're not pros, they're just trolling. But if they're pros, then they're not going to accept any Boxtons, because Boxton, apparently to them, are a disgrace to the society. So they're going to be toxic to them. They're going to call them noobs, and they're just not going to they're not going to include them in anything. Which is a community. I was going to get into communities, and this is the time I will get into communities. Toxic communities are number one. There's a bunch of toxic people out there, mostly pros who just don't like noobs for some reason, and they just bully noobs if they see them using Boxton or something. Second community is the animation community. I don't have a problem with this community. As long as they're not doing content farms, and as long as it's not sus in any way, I don't have a problem with this community existing. But there's a very small amount of people who don't make sus content with Dandy's World. The people who do have like no subscribers and don't gain any traction, because the people who play Dandy's World are mostly like kids who like content farms, like game tunes. So they're not gonna go to any like normal animation channel and do anything there. So it's just gonna be like they're not gonna get any subs, so they're not gonna get anything from YouTube. They're not gonna earn. If they wanted to earn, they're not gonna earn. So hopefully the animation community, the good people in animation, get like more views, because they actually deserve good views, not the Game Tunes. The Game Tunes doesn't deserve anything. Game Tunes should actually get a real job. They should work in McDonald's at this point. YouTube is not for them, because you know what they do on YouTube? They just make sus content, shipping random characters and throwing them into like a romance thing. But the last thing I really wanted to talk about was how Dandy's World is just boring. There's nothing. The gameplay is super repetitive. In my opinion, it's very repetitive. Because all you really do is go through floors, avoid twisted, do puzzles, do like the ink puzzle. I don't even know what it's called at this point. And it's just like repetitive gameplay. All you do is like collect items and earn stuff. So it's just like, why do people keep playing this game? It's not that fun. I actually have a friend at school named Alec, and he's addicted to Dandy's World. And honestly, he's not really a bad Dandy's World fan, he just plays it. But I'm just saying he's just addicted to Dandy's World. So, yeah, he's probably going to be on Dandy's World 24/7 at this point. And Dandy's World is just boring for me, and it's just not a good game for me. So, anyway, that's going to wrap up this first video. And I hope you liked the video. This is my first time doing any commentary videos besides a very poorly edited BlushCrunch one. I hope this video isn't gonna be really edited that much, because I don't need to edit it that much. And yeah, I'm just saying, Dandy's World isn't the type of game I like, and I'm just telling you guys reasons. I'm just sharing my opinion. Please don't start a rant in the comments. And yeah, that's basically gonna be the video. I'll see you guys on my main channel or on this channel next time I post. And if you guys like my content, subscribe, like to the channel. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. And don't start an argument in the comments, please. Goodbye.